Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. It's Kevin here. I've got another Bath & Body Works haul. This time it's an online exclusive haul. There for a few years, we would see the random online exclusive fragrances, one or two a year. And now there's an entire collection online on the Bath & Body Works website that is an online exclusive. I've got 5 of the 6 fragrances here that I'm going to talk about. I did not pick up Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. I've never really been a fan of that fragrance throughout the years. I would probably go for Pumpkin Clove instead, something along those lines, even though they are pretty similar. I prefer Pumpkin Clove over that one, so I did not pick up Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin for this haul, but I have everything else that is currently for fall, new for fall 2025, that is listed online as an online exclusive, and we're gonna talk about them. Let's get immediately into this haul. The first one we're going to start off with is a fragrance that I have not had for a few years. I want to say the last time I've smelled this was about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's a fragrance that comes back quite a bit, almost year after year, but it's always coming back as an online exclusive. So finally I decided to pick it up this time around, and it is Farmhouse. Now, I know that this fragrance has its cult following, and rightfully so. I smelled it for the first time about 5 minutes ago. I just received my delivery from UPS, and I was like, yeah, okay, I remember that one. It's a little tricky. Spiced pumpkin, forest pine branch, and fresh fall air. That's unique, and really it's the first thing that comes to mind when I smell this fragrance. If we could have a pumpkin that I would consider probably the most conceptual pumpkin fragrance that I have ever smelled, and I only say that because we're seeing the word conceptual quite a bit lately here with Kringle's recent releases for fall. Now this is using some pretty typical fall notes: spiced pumpkin, pine branch, fall air. Yeah, those are typical. We've seen them before. Pine branch is probably going to lean more towards the holidays or a Christmas tree fragrance. But using it here in a fall fragrance with pumpkin, yeah, I don't know what to think about this one. I don't know if I like it or dislike it. It's so rustic. I mean, probably the most rustic fragrance I have ever smelled from Bath & Body Works. And that is the lasting impression from this fragrance that I get. It's not the pumpkin, it's not the tree note, and it's not that fresh fall air. It's not in any way, some people might hear fresh fall air and think maybe it's cologne-y. It's not in any way that. It's very outdoorsy, it's very woodsy. If you told me there were quote unquote autumn leaves in this instead of fresh fall air, I'd be like, yep, that's that autumn leaves that we see quite a bit. It's in this candle right here, Farmhouse. Let me know what you guys think of this one, because I could see this one being very divisive for the masses. Farmhouse. I am gonna burn that one this year, probably get an individual review of it up on the channel. And the next one is a fragrance that I know came out a couple of years ago. It's this one right here. It's Praline Delight. I've always kind of been right down the middle with this one. Never really enjoyed it a whole lot, but never disliked it either. Roasted pecans, brown sugar, and creamy caramel. And for me, this one's pretty straightforward. If you've ever tasted sugared pecans, that's the smell that's in here. It's a little bit more caramely though. I get a good amount of the caramel and the brown sugar. There is a nuttiness to this as well, but the sweetness is what really comes through. It's not necessarily a real heavy sugary sweetness. Like if we were to go with something sugared something or other, it's not necessarily that. It's more of a caramel sweetness to this. It's more heavy, it's more weighted. It doesn't really have anything that I would pinpoint and say, yeah, that's sugar. Even the brown sugar in this feels a little bit dark, a little bit heavier. Maybe even something like molasses. And even right at the end there, kind of get something that's a little bit salted, just a little bit, just a touch of it. Praline Delight. Yeah, that's a sugared pecan. I've never really been a huge fan of it, but I don't dislike it either. Hence why I picked it up in this online haul. And the next one, I know everybody was looking forward to this one. Every single year this fragrance comes out, Everybody mentions how excited they are for it. It's kind of one of those fall fragrances that comes back in stock one year and then the next year it will be gone. And it just kind of rotates like that year after year. And it's Cider Lane. One thing I will say about this one, it has its huge fan base. And the notes on this one are warm caramel, Granny Smith apple, dark brown sugar, and ground clove. Oh man, it's been a little bit since I've smelled this candle too. I want to say last year this did not come out, and this fragrance right here I feel like was its replacement, fall apple cider, even though they're different, they're completely different. But they are certainly both in the same category of more of a caramel apple. I've never considered Cider Lane an apple cider, at least not to the purest extent of what I've smelled from Bath and Body Works or even other candle companies. To me, it fits squarely in with a caramel apple fragrance, and so did this one as well. And I think I even mentioned that recently, fall apple cider. To me, it's leaning more into the caramel apple category. Cider Lane is too, but oh, is it a good one? That caramel is just unmatched in this fragrance. With that tart Granny Smith, I don't really get any clove in this. And I think it even mentioned brown sugar, but I don't get a ton of that. I'm really just getting straight up caramel and apple. Maybe a little bit of something milky or creamy in this with the caramel. God, that's good. Cider Lane, of course, you can see why people love this one. At one time, this was the fragrance that, right up with pumpkin pecan waffles, was the fragrance from Bath and Body Works that I owned the most candles of in my candle collection at one time. I think I had maybe 8 or 9 of it at one time, going back probably 7 or 8 years. But Cider Lane has returned, guys, and it's a great one. Highly recommend that one. The next one, we'll go with this one right here, Pumpkin Vanilla Creme. I feel like this one is starting to come back year after year as well. Of course, this is a repackage of the original pumpkin pie, which I want to say we have not seen pumpkin pie for a few years now. I think they also kind of switched between a different name between these two. I think it was Vanilla Pumpkin at one point, or Pumpkin Vanilla. I want to say it was Vanilla Pumpkin, but this is the exact same fragrance as the old pumpkin pie. The notes on this are creamy pumpkin, vanilla creme, fresh ground nutmeg, and graham cracker crust. This is the standard of pumpkin pies. When somebody asks me, what would you recommend from any candle company as a pumpkin pie to go to for the month of November, this is the one I'm going to point you in the direction of, Pumpkin Vanilla Creme. I have a couple of those already in my collection. Technically, I didn't even need that one. I'm glad to have bought it though. I will burn at least one of them this year. Probably that one, maybe even another one. It's one of those candles I don't reach for a ton, but it's probably one of those that I feel like I should reach for more. And the last candle in this haul, nope, we already did that one, is this one right here, Fall Festival. And I want to say this fragrance came out last in 2022. Fresh pumpkin, spiced cinnamon, sweet maple, almond butter. To me on cold, that cinnamon really stands out on cold. It's so spicy and so warm. To me, once this candle burns though, trying to jog my memory back to a few years ago, this to me reminds me of a pumpkin donut. Heavily spiced pumpkin donut, but a pumpkin donut nonetheless. If I'm going to kind of break it down into its simplest terms, that's what this fragrance reminds me of. The sweet maple almond butter, I don't know. I don't remember how much that really came out when it was burning. I want to say it didn't really come out too much. I mean, I think that cinnamon was what was really the lasting impression. And even something like a pumpkin donut with that cinnamon. Fall Festival, I feel like I'm going to have to give an individual review of this candle too this year. That's my third haul already from Bath and Body Works this year. And I still haven't even touched the Halloween collection too. So I'm probably going to haul some Halloween candles from Bath and Body Works this year. Let me know what you guys picked up online. If you bought any of these online, or if you don't like to do the buying online thing, I understand. I'm not a huge fan of it either. But let me know in the comments below which one of these you're looking forward to burning the most this fall. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll talk to you soon. See you.